Hey, it's Risa G coming in from her cluttered kitchen to talk chocolate granola on this crappy, snowy, awful day. Hopefully the last nor'easter we will see this year. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So I thought I would bake some granola because I also want to bake the granola biscotti from the new Smitten Kitchen Everyday book. Been wanting to make that ever since I got the book a couple months ago, and that book has been featured in a few cookbook groups that I'm on in Facebook, and I've been dying to make it. I keep seeing people making posting pictures of these biscotti, and I so want to make them, but I don't want to use usual packaged stuff. I like to make my own granola. That way I know what's in it. I know what kind of sweetening. I know what kind of grains. What kind of, if there's nuts or seeds or whatever. And so I've been making since 2002 this wonderful chocolate crunch granola, which was originally from Cooking Light magazine. A friend, Portia, passed it on to me in one of her wonderful holiday boxes. And I've been a fan of this granola ever since. I've made it with different grains, with different sweetenings, with nuts, with seeds, with different fruits. And I've come up with a version that I really like. And so this is my version, and I'm going to use it again when I bake the biscotti tomorrow. But I wanted to show you the granola. You can make granola so easily. It's so cheap to make. And this way you know what's in it, instead of the stuff that's in the supermarket. Even if it's from a health food brand, you really don't know what's in it. You don't recognize some of the things in the ingredients. This way everything is healthy, and you know what it is, and it's good for you. So this is my version of the chocolate crunch granola. So there are three parts to any granola recipe. There are the grains. This instance, it's oats and Rice Krispies, but I use a brand, Erewhon, from the health food store, and it's I think they call it crispy brown rice. So I've always used this. I think it has more fiber than the usual supermarket brand, so that's what I use. Then there's a mixture of seeds and sugar and seasonings. This one is cinnamon and pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and I use turbinado sugar, but you can use demerara, you can use anything. I mean, I'm sure you could also use like coconut sugar and more paleo versions, but that's what I had in the house. That's what I'm using. And then there's a liquid portion, which in this instance is a 1/4 cup of honey or agave nectar and 2 tablespoons of a clear oil. So that's what this is. I heated it up. And then a little bit of vanilla, okay? So I already have the grains here, all right? So it's 3 cups of oats. These are Bob's Red Mill, and they're quick cooking groats. But anything will work, you know. Quaker oats, old-fashioned or instant will work. Whatever you got, except for like the whole groat. I wouldn't use the whole groat. And then, as I said, there's sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. You mix that all in with the seasoning. So I use my hands. My hands are impeccably clean. I washed them before we started the video. So there's that. And then you heat up in the oven. You heat up on the stove the liquids, and you add a teaspoon of vanilla. And at the same time, you melt a couple of ounces of dark chocolate. I used Kirkland chocolate chips, but normally I use something better, Guittard, Merkins, Ghirardelli, something, but this is what I had today. And so you mix that together, and then you mix in your chocolate. Okay, then you mix together your chocolate. You can do it just straight from chocolate chips if the mixture is really if you just have chips, you know, and you don't want to melt them yet. You don't have to melt them. You can just put the hot liquid on top, and but I already melted this, so. And then you just mix the two together, mix the chocolate and the oil mixture together until it's smooth. And then you just put it over this, and you put it in the oven on a silicone lined pan, and you bake it at 300 for 10-minute shots. You do 10 minutes, and then you do 10 minutes, and then you mix it, and then you take it out after 10 minutes, and you mix it, and you do it again after 10 minutes, and by half an hour it's totally cooked and browned. So I do it this way. They say to do it on the pan. I do it like this. It's a lot easier, and it gets coated better usually, although it doesn't seem like it's doing it right now, but usually it does. But I also let this stand for too long before filming, so then you just keep mixing it until you coat most of the mixture with the chocolate. I like to kind of do this to it, like mash it kind of. And then you just put it on the sheet and you put it in the oven. And within a half an hour, you have homemade chocolate crunch granola, which is wonderful on its own, as cereal. But it's also great as an ingredient in anything else that takes granola. There are certain cookie recipes that take granola as an ingredient. There's also, there are so many other recipes. There's breads. I've seen bread recipes that have granola as an ingredient. So quick breads, apple ones where you can put it on top as a coating, on top like a streusel or part of a streusel. I've seen that too. Anyway, so you get it on the cookie sheet in a single layer as thinly as you can get. If you have those more professional cookie sheets that are bigger, it works even better. All right, so I'm putting it in the oven, 300 degrees for half an hour. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and in 10 minutes I'll mix it. Okay, 10 minutes I'll mix it a little bit carefully so it doesn't fall off the tray. And then I'll put it in for another 10 minutes. I'll do it again, I'll mix it again, and then I'll do it one more time. Actually, I don't even need to do it a third time. Just take it out after half an hour, let it cool. Then you break up all the chunks with your fingers, and you have granola. Okay? See you in a few. Okay, so I already turned the mixture over one time. Gonna do it one more time. So this is what it looks like 3/4 of the way through. I switch hands with this thing, and then I very carefully, with a pancake turner or something, I try to put everything into the center and turn it over, and do that to the whole mixture so that it cooks evenly. And see, otherwise it falls off the side. I really should mix it and move it. See, I move it inward and then scoop under. I've done this probably 500 times since I got this recipe in 2003. She sent me Portia sent me a tub of it in a gift box in 2002 when I asked her for the recipe in 2003, and I've been making it ever since. It's my favorite granola. Okay, goes back in for another 10 minutes. Okay, see you in 10. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it comes out. Alright, like this. Little clumps. And I break them up. And then I let it cool. And stick it in a jar. I've had this jar for 5 years. Alright, it's delicious. So good. That is delicious granola. Great with a glass of milk. Just as a snack. Great as a topping. Ice cream or ice cream sundae. Great in a topping for muffins or pie. It's just delicious. It's really, really good granola. So tomorrow I'm going to take part of this, a couple cups of it, and make the granola biscotti with it. I'm going to try to film that too. And you see, you can easily make granola at home from wholesome, healthy ingredients. It's the cinchiest thing in the world. If you have a half an hour, you can make granola. Oh, if you want to see me make this into biscotti tomorrow, or other homemade breakfast related videos, press like, subscribe, press the bell, and thanks for sitting down in my kitchen. Bye.